surprised me he's achieved better than I thought he would, considering those trying years and stuff.
Bags of all stuff.
He comes in and he runs in. Or even like four. No, if you're four, I don't think you ever go. Yeah.
Mitch. Hey, man.
Oh, mate.
Had to go get target people.
We got someone from Buckby's.
Oh, yeah.
We couldn't get Mark Perry. Apparently they're coming out Monday.
Yeah, okay. Perry would give you everyone's number.
Yeah, he was happy to talk, but I think they had something organised
Yeah,
already.
because Perry was...
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Skybus Oval for round 14 TSL action. It's a battle of the Bombers here this afternoon. Lauderdale taking on North Launceston. An important 4 points up for grabs. I'm Andrew Cooling, calling the action here on the TSL live stream. And an important game, this one, in particular for Lauderdale. After Clarence's victory over Glenorchy last night, they're now 3 games adrift of the top 4 and finals. Since they need to win this one at home this afternoon if they're to keep their ambitions of playing in September alive. It won't be easy though. The Northern Bombers, they're in second at the moment, only percentage separating them and the Tigers, who have a tricky test against Launceston today. They'll be eyeing off a potential top spot should that result fall their way. Certainly home field to play for in the finals. They don't want to be dropping this one. So an important 4 points for 2 different reasons here for the sides this afternoon. Looking forward to this one. It's the Southern Bombers who'll be wearing the Bombers kit. North Launceston in the yellow. And we're underway here at Skybus Oval. Umpire throws it up. Smith gets the better of Lee at the first contest, but Lee able to get the first use. Handballed it across there to Avent. Turns onto his left. Swings it out towards the wing. Just pitches in front of Manshanton. Gathered and handball back into the middle, searching there for Pitt. Bounced off Broomhall. All tumbles around a little before it's gathered by Sulzberger. They go back to Lee. The ruckman will send them forwards for the first time this afternoon through the hands of Pearce. Back to Pearce. Nathan Pearce skipping free, letting fly from 40. Won't have the journey. It's spiked towards the line, not cleared. Gathered by Harvey Griffiths. He gave it off to Young. Young squared the ball, slapped out of there by Ned Shaw. Gathered now by Cox Goodyear eventually. Stops, props, steadies, and then finds a target 60 from home. Sending him inside 50 is Nicholas. To the danger area. Smith back in the space. Should be gathered by Walsh. Took a bit of an awkward bounce. Nathan Pearce claims him in a strong tackle. Shrugging a tackle with strength there, Ned Shaw, and he's able to clear the area. He clears defensive 50, but it's going to come right back at them. Fletcher Bennett sweeping up, and a free kick off the ball's been spotted by the looks of things. That's the 50-metre penalty off the ball, so Bennett, the beneficiary. This will take him within scoring range and an opportunity to get North Launceston on the board early on here. He sends it on its way. Doesn't quite have the journey. Off hands across the line, and perhaps an early indicator there of the strength of wind here at the tip this afternoon. McGuinness from full back. Yeah, definitely an advantage to Lauderdale based on these early kicks as Alan Christensen sends them forward. That's a lovely kick from Christensen. Ed Stanley was one of their best last week. He tried to get rid of Simpson and couldn't. Or he ended up just taking him a little high. Free kick paid Stanley's way. Oh, he ran straight into Manshan and gets into trouble. Got a handball away to Christensen. Christensen stands it up there towards full forward. Offhand, Siggins lurking dangerously. Out of there by Skipper. Not convincingly though. Coughed it up, and in the end, Gridley is brought to the deck. There'll be a ball up inside the forward 50 here. Siggins, we know how dangerous he is from these situations. Lee beats him though. Won it down beautifully. Tapped it to Hubbard. Handball over the top to Pearce. He couldn't control it. Curran was there for Lauderdale. And a free kick for a little over the shoulder there, going the way of Sam Simpson, who sends them across fullback, and they try and execute the switch. Chip short to Mitchell. Deep in the back pocket is Lockie Mitchell. Doesn't want to kick to a contest. He will tear off and switch back the other way. Little untidy, might let in Christensen. He flicks it back over the top to Gridley. Tries to shrug the tackle. Oh, couldn't quite get clean. Walsh wants a free kick. Handball from Sulzberger, and they try and clear the area here to the Northern Bombers, but they cough it up. Slapped on the boot there by Belchambers into the forward pocket. And drifts across and out of play for a throw in. So Lauderdale on the attack here. what appears a reasonably strong wind at their backs. We're wanting to take full advantage of that here in the first term, build a bit of a lead. Must-win game this one this afternoon. Lee and Siggins duel once more, just whacked off the deck and clears the area. Broomhall brings Bennett down. Bennett quite happy to hold that one in there. And it'll be tossed up by the umpire. Smith now doing the ruck work. Lee reaches over, won it down. Jack Avent along the wing through the hands though of Young. And defending the situation was Tyler Martin. Smith gets the better of Lee on this occasion. Fletcher hooker driven down by Jack Avents. Umpire calls for it. This time Lee wins it, but not clearing the area. Bellchambers on hands and knees. Got it to hooker. Dominic Pitt just slipping up a little high. Smith tries to drag him off. Fletcher hooker. He'll turn now and take his free kick and send Lauderdale forwards. He wheels off onto the right. Sends them deep to Siggins, who took front position and takes the mark, and he'll go back to kick for the Bombers' first of the afternoon. So Siggins looks like he's going to go around there on the J curve. He does so. He bends it back beautifully, and they get their first of the afternoon. Lauderdale, Sam Siggins looming as a key to this contest if Lauderdale are to provide a bit of an upset here at home this afternoon. They're probably going to need their star man to play a starring role, and he makes a strong start here. The mark and goal. It's 1 goal to 1 behind after the opening 6 minutes at the tip. Umpire just opting to throw it up rather than bounce it down this afternoon. This one's swung forward for North Launceston. Good intercept mark taken back there by Finn Rackett. Tracked it nicely. Chips short for Sutton. Just slows things down and then he chips it down the line. Finds Ben Steinbauer. There's a couple of short options. McGuinness imploring him inside. Ignores that, goes long down the line. Kicks to a contest. A drifting from the side. Stixie Blackburn brings down a beautiful mark. Strong stuff there from Blackburn. He'll go looking for Siggins once more. Siggins smashed away from him by Fletcher Bennett. Broomhall first to it, but he's sent to the deck by Hubbard. And it'll be balled up inside the forward 50. Siggins against Lee. Lee just jumping into Siggins there. Clear and kick. Sends it up towards the square. Back with the flight. A good mark is taken. Steinbauer sends them inside 50 once more. Siggins again! He's juking everything at the moment, Sammy Siggins. Strong start to this game. We've gone to him 3 times. Twice he's brought it down, showing some sticky mitts. He'll go back and try and kick his side second, and his second of the afternoon. They start the day 12 points adrift of Clarence, whom they play next week. That will be a massive game if they can take the Chockies here this afternoon. Here is Siggins from 45. He sends it on its way. Looks good off the boot. Sammy Siggins has too early. And Lauderdale are up and about here at the tip. They're 2 straight 12. 1 behind for North Launceston. They do have a fair advantage attacking this end in the first quarter. so far making the most of it, the Southern Bombers. North Launceston probably been the form team of the competition through the last month and a half or so. They've been outstanding as they've charged up to draw level with the Tigers atop the table with 9-2 records, only percentage keeping them off the top spot. Back to the middle we go. Walsh applying pressure. Lee just slaps it out towards the wing. Tracking it was Nicholas under pressure from Steinbauer. Now a play for a throw in. Lee works his way to win the hit out. Steinbauer. Lee reaches in, but that's going nowhere. Pressure applied by Walsh. Smith trying to work from behind. Perkins just bumped off it. Dropped the ball, free kick going the way of Bombers. And then an over the shoulder is going to result in 50 metres. So Ben Simpson will be advanced within scoring range here for North Launceston. Bit of a short 50 metres, more of a 40 metre I'd have thought, but Simpson will just stand it up inside the forward 50. Couldn't find a target. Nice intercept taken by Tom Curran back there. Wants to get it moving quickly. He sends them up towards the wing. It drifts over the head of Blackburn. Out the back is Kerr. He sweeps across and then punches one out wide. Finds a lucky target on the wing. Sulzberger taking his time. And he just goes wider still. Chip back into the corridor for Nicholas. Nicholas with a handball over the top. Back to Nicholas from Simpson. They go inside the forward 50. Considered build-up play here. McGuinness spoils it away. Gathered by the lively Brandon Leary. Wheels onto his right. Snaps it across his shoulder. Handball now to Ben Simpson. Simpson just finesses one to the pocket. Oh, unfortunately for him, though, Shandon just lost his footing. Back out to Simpson. He retreats to Bennett. Bennett stands it up in the forward 50 again. Spoiled away. All in dispute, trying to take it away. Martin couldn't take clean possession. Shandon, he's gathered. We'll have a stoppage. Ives doing the ruck work against Smith here now. Smith decisively. Walsh gathers. A free kick's been spotted. Cox Goodyear will be the recipient. And he'll go back and should be able to drive through North Launceston's first of the afternoon. Should be a fairly regulation shot for a player of Bradley Cox Goodyear's calibre. And he duly does the business. He drives it through. The Bombers of the North have their first of the afternoon. They're 1-1-7. Lauderdale 2 straight 12. Yes, McGuinness getting in his back there was the call. A free kick converted, so bright start to this game. Plenty of intensity about it. Important clash down here at the tip. With North Launceston looking to keep themselves in the hunt for a top of the ladder finish, which would give them home field throughout the finals. Lauderdale wanting to qualify. Siggins now moves into the ruck and immediately gets the clearance. Sends the Bombers up towards half forward. Tumbling ball over the head of Walsh. He wanted to push in the back, not forthcoming. Fletcher Bennett charges out of half back here now for Lauderdale. Sends them up to the wing. Wrestling match there. Umpire says play on out the back to Franklin. Franklin into the corridor, found Christensen. Alan Christensen stands it up. That's a lovely ball. Finds Ed Stanley. With the wind, he might just be in scoring range here. The moustached man. Ed Stanley. He's certainly going back and giving every indication he fancies it. So it only kicked 5 goals last week, but Ed Stanley kicked 4 of them. He's in good goal scoring form. He lets fly from 55. Distance, not a problem. Accuracy, however, is just lacking. Their first minor score of the afternoon, but there is a real demonstration of the win. That carried through comfortably. He smashed that from 55. He carried the journey from 60, 65 there. So as it stands, just the 1 goal difference. I don't think North Launceston would be too disappointed here as they drive this one up towards the wing, just slapped on by Lee. McGuinness brings it under his spell, under pressure from Cox Goodyear. He's handballed back towards Skelly. Now Cox Goodyear sends North Launceston forward. Ives and Martin. Good one-on-one duel there. Martin takes it away. His handball, though, missed the target. Back in dispute. Martin dives in. Ives dives on top of him. Umpire calls for it. Siggins, the size there on Ives, slapped there by Pitt and finds a marking target in Harvey Griffiths. Just landed in his lap. Rewarded for taking front position there. And Harvey Griffiths can go back and square this one up. Midway point of the first quarter. Opens up the angle, snaps around the corner and kicks truly. Harvey Griffiths gets North Launceston second. It's 2-1 plays 2-1. A good response here from the Northern Bombers after Sam Siggins had kicked the first 2 of the afternoon. And given that wind advantage, things going quite nicely for them at this stage. 13 plays 13. He's a really handy player in that forward line, Harvey Griffiths. He's had a fine season for them. He's a goal kicker. He's a target for them. And there with the likes of Leary, Cox Goodyear, they've got some real firepower in that forward 50 arc. Griffiths enjoying a fine season. Alan Christensen moves himself onto the ball for his next centre bounce. Siggins gets the clearance. Takes a tumbling bounce. Unable to be gathered cleanly. The pressure comes from Avent, who tries to take it away. Jeremiah Perkins on the bottom of that for Lauderdale. Lee palms it down, spinning through the contest, Franklin. Bombers should be able to take it away. Simpson over the top to Avent. Through hand back to Bennett, weaving through traffic. Oh, not gathered cleanly by Ben Simpson. Bryce Walsh burrowing in. Another stoppage at half forward. Slap forward by Siggins. Perkins. He's brought down by Pitt. Repeat stoppages here. Siggins takes the clearance once more. Sends them into the pocket. Stanley couldn't quite bring it. Sticks Blackburn lurking. And a good tackle there from Fletcher Hooker. I reckon earlier in the year he might have driven him into the turf, but given all the spotlight that's been on dangerous tackles in this sport this year, you can see it changed the behaviour a bit of the tackler. Lee against Perkins. Someone outsized in the ruck there. Did that go straight out of bounds? Well, I'll ask the question. Nothing doing. And we'll go again. Say the ground in very good condition for this time of the year. Quite often see it rather chopped up by this point of the season. Umpire's going to recall that one. Tough sledding for the boundary umpires with the win today. So we've seen the centre throw up rather than the centre bounce today. So I'd like to see that permanently. It's that even contest. Perkins continuing to ruck. Again, outsized. Avent first to it. And again, he's wrapped up. So, interesting that with Smith and Siggins out there, it's Jeremiah Perkins doing the ruck work at the moment. You have considerable reach. Lee slapped it down once more. Handball back from Franklin. Flicked outside there to Skelly. Buffeted off as he kicked. Got it forwards though. Handball from Kerr, and they'll work it across and out of defence here. Through Lee Flang. Oh, coughed it up though. Got a second chance, and then he's robbed of it. Holding the ball, surely. No, in the back. Well, a bit fortunate there, Connor Lee Flang. His kick spoiled away by Curran. Now a play for a ball in. So Siggins now back into the ruck. Works his way to the front, but Lee got there, took it cleanly, and then blasted forward for North Launceston, but parked behind it was Josh McGuinness. Short little chip kick, not a good one from McGuinness. Costly turnover perhaps. Oh, great tackle from behind. Running his man down was Phil Bellchambers. Got it moving quickly, gave it back to McGuinness. He drives them to half forward. Probably could have taken the mark there. The double-fisted spoil out towards the line. And scored it across by Charlie Skipper. We tick into red time in the first quarter. 13 plays 13. Probably a 2 or 3 goal advantage this wind, I'd have thought, for Lauderdale. This one's heaved back in once more. Lee palms it towards the boundary. Siggins went in for it, couldn't take it away. Trying to extract it. Sutton goes in there. Now Perkins working back, got it to Rackett. His kick charged down. Umpire launches it back in. Lee up against Smith. Smith palms it towards the boundary. Gathered by Sulzberger. Avent further along the line, but just stuck on that far side of the ground at the moment. There's the ball. Repeat stoppages on the far wing. Lee palmed it down nicely. Avent handball across to Hubbard. He chips it short and he finds Jacob Kerr. Got it moving quickly. Oh, a little too quickly. Allowed Bellchambers to interject. Handball picked off by Pitt. Walsh, and he wrestled for the ball. Pitt just releases the handball and Simpson fires one out, and they're off to the races here, North Launceston. Driving it forwards. Leary provides a good contest. Phil to Cox Goodyear. He launches from distance to full forward. Spoiled away from Ives. Ball hits the deck. It's Oscar Mansell and cleared away by the Northern Bombers. By the Southern Bombers, sorry. SV Bombers doing my head in here at the moment. This one launched towards the wing. Christensen shift up. Oh, firm tackle met there was Gridley by Kerr. Oh, and gives him a little on the ground afterwards too, which Jason Gridley not overly thrilled with. It's up to remonstrate. Thrown back up once more. Smith and Lee wrestling away. Down to Simpson. Simpson to Pitt through traffic. Sends the Bombers to half forward, but again parked back there. This time is Taney Suki. Relieving mark set. Christensen to task. Hubbard crunch from behind. Made the spoil. Smith. Bellchambers couldn't take it cleanly. Pitt through the contest. Got it to Sulzberger. Sulzberger almost found Griffiths on hands and knees. Couldn't quite complete the transaction. Clearing kick's going to come right back at him because they found Simpson. And Simpson found man Shandon, who grubbers a little one into the pocket for Mansell. Couldn't take it cleanly. Cox Goodyear burrowing in. Did he get one a little high there, Cox Goodyear? Umpire will call for it, but that shows how strong the wind is again. Man Shandon not confident of making the distance from really 35 out. Took on a pretty low percentage effort. Went off a little there. Lauderdale through the contest comes Sulzberger. Tried to bust on through. Ball spills out. Burrowing in after it is Walsh. And on top of him, Brandon Leary. Ives against Smith. Cox Goodyear. Scooped it out. Should be cleared by Martin. Sends it out, but again, they don't really clear the area. Hubbard takes the mark. He squares it up. Ball, not a good one, though. Almost lets in Ed Stanley. He gathered it, but he was caught. And then trying to take it away. There's a Walsh unable to do so. Might have been Franklin, rather. Smith. Oh, well sharked by Avent. Round the corner. Almost a mark there to Griffiths. Suki. He's caught there by Avent and Leary. He hits the deck afterwards. We tick towards quarter time. 2-1 plays 2-1. Lee over the top. Good tackle from Sutton. Stopping Sulzberger skipping away. We'll go again. Lee flicked it up. Cox Goodyear. He's brought down there by Tate Winter. Yeah, kick away Ben Simpson. Found Sulzberger. Quickly dished it off to the pocket. Snap kick. Suki with the spoil. Doesn't quite clear the area. But Martin comes across and he puts it out of play. So it's been North Launceston on the attack here for most of the last 10 minutes or so. It's tough sledding into this win, but having the better of proceedings are the visitors. Second on the ladder heading into today. Cox Goodyear takes it out of the ruck contest. Snap one towards the boundary. Harvey Griffiths keeps it in play. Gets his shot away. Harvey Griffiths across the face. Tracking it. Mansell brings it in. Martin wants a free kick. It's not. It will come. Yes. Just shepherded off the ball there illegally so. So that'll allow them to try and clear defensive 50. They've had real trouble doing this in recent times. This one floats over the head of Blackburn, who got nudged in the back. He'll get the free kick. Finally, they might be able to get it on out of there. It's been on lock in North Launceston's forward line for a little while now. He's squaring ball, a good one. He finds Steinbauer. Steinbauer up towards the wing to Christensen. And that will be quarter time here at Skybus. 2-1 plays 2-1. All square on the scoreboard. But you'd have to say, advantage to the Northern Bombers, given how much more difficult attacking their end of the field was. Probably a 10 or 15 metre wind, I'd have thought. So they'll be quite content with that, the visitors. Sam Siggins kicked the first two of the afternoon as Lauderdale started brightly. From that point on, though, North Launceston wrestled back control of the contest. And they'll look to build a lead with the wind at their backs in quarter number 2. But at the first change here at Skybus, it's 2-1 to 2-1. Back for the second quarter here at Skybus Oval. 13 plays 13 as the Northern Bombers will go forward immediately through Simpson, sends them deep inside the forward 50 arc off hands. There'll be a holding free kick paid the way of Theo Ives by the looks of it. So, early opportunity here for North Launceston to get the first goal for the quarter inside the opening 15 minutes. So, chance for a perfect start here. Theo Ives sends it on its way. Straight through the middle. It's the perfect start for the visitors. They move along to 3-1-19. Lauderdale 2-1-13. That goal is the difference. Hold paid there. Everyone looked at the umpire, went, which way is it going? It went the way of Theo Ives. So perfect start, and purchase on that clearing kick from Simpson, significantly more than they got in the first term. I'd be delighted, I would have thought, to have been level heading into the quarter time break. They'll look to do some real damage in this second term. Lauderdale going to have a fair bit of defending to do, I'd have thought. So back to the middle we go, Smith and Lee. Neither ruckman able to get it. Smith eventually picks it up, sends it over the top for Sutton. Sutton slaps it on the boot and drifts towards the line, and juggling the mark was Nat Franklin. Franklin sets it up for Siggins, just drops nicely for him. Sam Siggins. Quick handball to Bellchambers. Bellchambers from the paint. Sets it up towards the goal square. Good carry. Has it gone all the way? It has. Philip Bellchambers with a wonderful goal. 50 out. On the run, into the wind, gets the journey, and knocks this one back up at 19 apiece. Wonderful stuff from Phil Bellchambers. And it's 3-1, plays 3-1, the perfect response from the home side. I mean, conceded in the opening minute. They go forward and immediately cancel that out. Just bent it back on the wind beautifully, did Bellchambers. Noted for his tough inside contested work. And that sort of finishing, but wonderful stuff from Bellchambers. They're all square once more. Smith away from Lee. Lee will follow it up and try and gather. Just overran it a bit. The goal scorer, Bellchambers, he's crashed down there by Big Lee, going nowhere. Reaching over was Smith. Going nowhere is Curran. Smith down, tearing away with it though. It was Hubbard, sent it over the top to Manshandon, returned it to Hubbard. He'll send them inside the forward 50. Can he find a marking target? He can. Leary kept his feet and brings it down. The young live wire will go back again for a quick response. The goals, at least opportunities flowing here in quarter number 2. Brandon Leary will go back and try and kick his side second of the term. One of the most exciting forwards in the competition, this young man, Brandon Leary. He makes no mistake. They move along to 4-1-25. Lauderdale 3-1-19. After just 4 goals in the entire opening quarter, we've had 3 in the opening 4 minutes here to start the second. Game breaking open at that. Plays 20 at quarter time, and the other TSL clash this afternoon. Tigers and Launceston. Grand final rematch. That'll be in the back. Free kick will go the way of Broomhall, who just, for a moment, forgot which end his side was attacking. William Broomhall sets it up. Blackburn, he held there a little. Walsh couldn't gather cleanly. Walsh then fired out a handball, just missed Franklin. Sutton slaps it back inside, gathered by Simpson, couldn't take it cleanly. In the end, a stoppage will be forced just outside the paint of 50. Smith, won it down. Siggins couldn't take it away cleanly. Lee slung off the kick. Sutton coughed it up. Clears it up towards Suki and Young. Young taking a firm tackle there by Tony Suki. And wraps him up tight. Smith down, volleyed out of there by Simpson. Pierce, sorry. Steinbauer locking up Avent. Pierce through the contest, fired the handball out. Good smother though from Skelly. They continue to force it forward. Sulzberger, umpire's whistle's gone. Going the way of Lauderdale, Bryce Walsh. Swings it out to the wing where Siggins was parked. Quick handball to Skelly. Keeps them moving down the line. Good ball use here. He finds Jeremiah Perkins. Perkins stands it up towards the paint of 50. Reeling it in was Fletcher Hooker. Hooker driving it. It's a dart of a kick to Christensen, but just dropping back into the space nicely was Harvey Griffiths. The opposite end of the ground where we normally see he doing his best work, but they're out of defence now. Bennett back inside and taking it as Sulzberger. Wants to go quickly, doesn't have an immediate option. Eventually just stabs one short. And it'll be Bailey Mitchell. He likewise heads short. Connor Young. And make their way up the field here with short kicks. Now Young will launch one a little bit longer towards the paint of 50, away from Griffiths. Looking it back inside cleverly, man Shandon, but Lauderdale will take it away. Skelly handballs backwards, and now out in front of Broomhall. Big contest this. Broomhall kept his eye on the ball, took a nice mark. Broomhall, oh, wonderful work there, charging it down, Skipper. And he finds the safety of the line. Tremendous stuff there from Charlie Skipper. The diving smother, just as things were opening up there for Lauderdale. And then sensing he was outnumbered, just worked it over the line. Really well done. Lee won it down. Sweeping it back over the top. Walked across the line there was Franklin. 8.5 gone in the second term. 3-1 plays 4-1. Lee slaps it down. Pierce first to it. On top of him is Walsh. Lee reaches over. They force it towards half forward. Charging out of defence there was Martin, and he gathers and gets the handball back. Nice work there from Tyler Martin. Steinbauer works a kick forward. Christensen takes it cleanly. Sweeps it across to Broomhall. Broomhall by hand to Walsh. Back to Broomhall. His kick bending and finds a marking target in Stanley. Stanley will send them deep. Going to the goal square. He's got his man Siggins again. Super stuff from Sammy Siggins. He has 3 already. And this one's squared back up. 4-1 plays 4-1. And Sammy Siggins the premier player of the competition, just about the reigning Lynch medalist. He'll certainly be putting together another strong campaign to defend that this year. And he's kicked 3 already. As much as they can, they want to isolate him one-on-one because he is just looking too big and too strong back there at the moment. Just held off his man there, took it in, played on, kicked his 3rd. He is looming large indeed. 4-1 place, 4-1. An entertaining battle developing here at Skybus. Lauderdale probably have to win this match if they want to keep finals hopes alive. Going to be relying on a lot of results to go their way if they don't. Simpson and Smith wrestle for the ball. Umpire calls for it. Lee and Smith to resume their duel. Smith won it down to Sutton. Tumbled a kick. Couldn't find a target. The handball, not a great one from that Sulzberger to Pitt. In the end, out of play. It's Nicholas, in fact. So, 11 minutes gone. This has been one tight battle. Neither team dominating. Both sides having little spells in the ascendancy. Smith palms it down. Sutton toes it forward. Hook up under pressure and over the line. Lee just gets rid of Smith, takes the clearance, sends them up towards half forward, over the head of Leary, tracking it back. Martin did pretty well, didn't want to take possession. In the end, it's out for a throw in. So, North Launceston attacking end of the ground here. 25 place 25. Smith just tried to volley it, couldn't quite find it. Simpson got a toe on it. Broomhall chips it forward. Gathered by Nicholas. Nicholas to Cox Goodyear has a blast from 60. This might go the journey. It did, but it was just offline for a minor score. He has an absolute hammer of a boot, Bradley Cox Goodyear. He looked up. Anywhere from 60 attacking this end is within his range, that's for sure. Might get another look here. He weaves through traffic. Handball missed Simpson, though. He's got to go back and work for it. In the end, Lee able to buffet a player off the ball, and they work it out the back to Mitchell. Mitchell with a clever stand-up kick finds Dominic Pitt. And Fletcher Hooker has stepped over the mark. It is such a tiny, tiny thing to do, but such a big, big penalty. This will take him right to the square and should make a certain goal for Pitt. It's just an enormous penalty for one step. Just reacted on instinct. Took a step forward. And Pitt able to drive the Northern Bombers 7 points clear. It's 32, plays 25. Just a cruel one there for Fletcher Hooker. Thought Pitt had played on. You've got to wait for that whistle, though. Costly mistake there. So it's the Northern Bombers by 7, midway point of quarter number 2. Tigers leading Launceston by a goal down at the Twin Ovals in the other match. Lee just mistimed the leap a little. Siggins back in the ruck and Bellchambers takes it away. He'll drive Lauderdale deep inside forward 50 off hands. Alan Christensen snaps back the immediate response. Alan Christensen, that's his bread and butter. He snaps from the pocket and it's back to a 1-point ball game. And the former Geelong Cat showing his sharp goal scoring instincts there. The immediate response. Sam Siggins having impact wherever he goes. He moves into the middle and they immediately get the clearance, get it forward. get the goal. 5-1, 5-2. It's a tight battle developing here at the tip. Siggins, miscontrolled there, perhaps in the back there on Bellchambers. He was, and he wheels off to his right, pumps them deep inside forward 50 again. Out the back, Bryce Walsh just fell in his lap. Everyone running underneath the football. Is there going to be a 50? Walsh seems to be indicating he wants one, won't get it. This won't be the easiest kick though. I've seen a couple of players passed in similar positions today. And Bryce Walsh has the opportunity to put the Bombers of the South ahead in this game. Never gave it a chance, hung it out to the right. And we're all square once more. 5-2 plays 5-2. North Launceston move it quickly. Pitch just in front there of Griffiths. Has to get up and play on. Did so. Fletcher Bennett under pressure now. His handball along the line, just creeping out of play ahead of Connor Leaflang. He tossed back in. Siggins with a fair piece of Lee's jumper there. The ball cleared away. Almost taking the mark. Off hands. Simpson fired a handball out and charging off half-back Hubbard. Sends them up the wing. Floats over everybody's head and spills out the back. Fighting hard is Ives. In the end, it's out of play. Good result there in the end probably for Ives. Was outnumbered. Intriguing game developing here. 5-2 plays 5-2. Tapped down and forced forward. Front position quite rewarded, but cleverly tapped it back inside. The handball to Griffiths. He's met solidly there by Steinbauer, but it's shrugged free. The kick towards the line is off hands. And through for a minor. Scott will give them the lead in this game. 5-3 to 5-2. So the clear defensive 50. It was a really poor kick though. There were 4 yellow shirts just waiting at the fall of the ball. One of them was Connor Leaflang. They'll pump North Launceston back inside the forward 50. He drives them deep. The spoil came. A free kick's been called. I don't know about that one. That seems harsh on Tyler Martin for mine. Either way, Theo Ives was the beneficiary already in this term for a free kick, and he gets another one here. Chance to put the Bombers back out to a 7-point lead. So Ives goes back, sends it through. He has 2 for the quarter. And it's North Launceston by 7 points. I feel for Tyler Martin, pretty tough to play fullback if those type of free kicks are being given against you. Very tough indeed. Either way, Theo Ives takes full advantage. He's got a pair of goals. The North Launceston back out by 7 points. 6-3 plays 5-2. As the seesawing contest continues here at the tip. Back to the middle, one down by Lee. Bounced off Simpson and then call for it once more. Lee palmed it down. Clever handball from Simpson. Found Avent. Avent slaps them towards half forward. Took a chaotic bounce deep inside the forward 50, but with a bit of time to steady, Tate Winter sends it across. Sutton brings it down. Not paid the mark, Reece Sutton. And burying him was a Pitt. Lee rucks it down, flicked on cleverly by Simpson. Did it really well to find Sulzberger, who just misses to the right. Wasn't far away. Just a couple of really clever touches, not possessions. Won't get out on the stat sheet there of Ben Simpson, but a couple of really clever involvements in the last couple of moments there. Just good game awareness to knock the ball into space. Can be an underused weapon at times, that little knock on. No, Lauderdale clear defensive 50. Pinballs around a little, and it's gathered by Nicholas. Couldn't take it cleanly, though. Burrowing back inside there, trying to wrestle it away, was Hooker. Going nowhere. Charlie Skipper. Siggins on it down. Reece Sutton sends it wide into the open field and says go chase. Out after it is Steinbauer and Hubbard. Hubbard flicked it back. Free kick's been called for over the shoulder. Advantage paid for North Launceston. Can they take full advantage? They'll switch it across here to Mitchell Nicholas, who drifted cleverly into some space. He sends them inside the forward 50. It's a beautiful kick from Nicholas. He finds his man once again in Ives. Great ball use from Nicholas. Good ball use in general. The switch was really well executed. Cleverly going back to the open wing. Opened up this side of the ground for Ives to lead into. And Nicholas, he put it where no defender could reach. Not much Tyler Martin could do about that one. So Theo Ives, for his third goal of the quarter, doesn't have the accuracy, so a couple of misses here in recent moments for North Launceston. They're 6-5. They're up by 9 points. Their biggest lead of the afternoon. Skelly. Here's defensive 50. Spoiled back inside. Walsh will be first to the fall of it. Just worked off it, crashing through Racket. Pressure comes from Nicholas. Fletcher Hooker on the bottom of that. With Walsh. Stoppage at half forward for the Northern Bombers here. Starting to get on top a little. Lee won that down craftily, but Walsh got first possession. He was immediately wrapped up by Simpson. Siggins bustling through. Avent screws a kick around the corner. Pitches, bounces over everybody's head. Out the back and cleared away by McGuinness. Just put it into some space. Another bit of a chaotic bounce there. This one worked all right for Lauderdale. Toe forward there, working towards the line. Winter, gathering him Simpson. And locking it up. Siggins with the clearance. Taking front position and taking a good mark was Franklin. Now Franklin punches this one up towards half forward. Siggins looming. Fell out the back, gathered by Simpson. He gave it to Simpson of the Ben variety. Receiving from Sam, the kick almost picked off there by Franklin, but they work their way through, and now Shandon charging through the middle of the ground. He sends them to Leary. A push will be paid. Going the way of Lauderdale, though. And Steinbauer takes it at half back. Steers them into the middle. Strong pair of hands there from Franklin. Got it moving quickly to Racket. Racket gave it off to Sutton. Sutton just overdoing the kick a little, but hung up in the breeze and Stixie Blackburn got there. He pumps them deep inside the forward 50, but reading it the whole way. A relieving mark taken at fullback, and they quickly move it on. Ives Back to Ben Simpson, who's had stacks of it. Smashed away, fell to Christensen, tries to arch the back and turn away from trouble. Couldn't do so, ducking under another hooker. Good composure, Fletcher Hooker. Can he find a marking target? There was Big Smith, couldn't complete the mark. Good tackle laid by Jeremiah Perkins. And they force a stoppage. Lauderdale would dearly love to pull one back here before the break. In arrears by 9 points at the moment. Siggins applying a tackle. They'll reset. Here's a ruck. Went for the hit out. Siggins tries to wriggle free. Walsh took it. Taken away from him. Siggins tried to take it out of the ruck contest, didn't take it cleanly. Perkins again applies a tackle. A spell of pressure here from Lauderdale. 9 points adrift. Siggins up against Ives, having a good game, Theo Ives. Clearing kick doesn't clear defensive 50. Man, Shandon and Sutton scrap away for it. Sutton behind the back at one stage, couldn't take it cleanly. Christensen applying some pressure. Good tackle on Nicholas. Mitchell. Not rewarded. Umpire calling for it here. 26 and a half gone. Deep into the second term. Smith and Ives. Smith won it down, didn't really clear the area. Jack Avent looks to turn away from trouble. Across half back they go through Hubbard. They sweep it nicely across half back and then just launch it forwards towards Leary. Spoiled away from him by Ned Shaw. That looked a little high. And the free kick will be paid to Tate Winter. Nathan Pearce there as Leary and Steinbauer go at it off the ball. Here's Skelly. So Skelly punches it down the line to a contest, spoiled away. Walsh goes in and gathers it. He tries to duck under a Simpson tackle. Somehow got a handball out of there. Slapped on the boot by Steinbauer. Back into the dispute. Bailey Mitchell up against Broomhall. Broomhall takes it. Then just handballed it back into space. That allowed Mitchell back in. He arches the back and turns back. Good composure shown here from the Northern Bombers. Now they try and charge through the middle, linking up with handballs, but they've coughed it up. Fletcher Hooker. He screws one up towards half forward. Gathered by Blackburn. Quick release. Christensen. Well, he deferred to his teammate in the end, and the Northern Bombers should be able to take it away. There are red and black shirts everywhere around this ball, and they force a stoppage. Can't be too far off. The halftime siren sounding here. The Northern Bombers holding sway by 9 points. Smith and Ives. And there is the siren to bring the first half to a close. It's been a gripping battle so far. The Northern Bombers probably just shading the contest, but Sam Siggins playing a starring role and keeping Lauderdale in touch. He has 3. Lauderdale 5-2-32, trailing North Launceston 6-5-41 half-time here at the tip. It's been an entertaining battle. It's been an arm wrestle. It's been stoppage heavy at times. And 9 points is the margin as we reach the main change here at the tip. A big Saturday afternoon of TSL action. Just trying to get a score down. It's like 34-28 in favour of Launceston over the Tigers down at the Twin Oval. So if results were to hold this way, it would be the Northern Bombers on top of the ladder at the end of the round. We'll see how things play out. Yeah, 2 big second halves coming up. But here at the tip, it's North Launceston by 9 points. We're back shortly with the second half for you.
today? Yeah. How are you going?
Yeah, not too bad. Just cruising along.
Yeah.
That's 26 games of hockey last week.
Fuck.
This is a dog.
It's a walk in the park.
8 days of it.
Fuck, you know, mate.
Long week.
Bloody
Very
hell.
good. Get the cold down here, mate. Frost down around.
Oh,
Saturday,
that's
8 a.m.
underneath that big iceberg up there, mate. Fucking hell, that's cold.
No, nothing else really kicking, mate.
No. Some shit. Some shit going on. Yeah. I think this is. I think we've only got 2 more home games after this.
A bit of a license for the long.
Yeah, coming. Yeah, sort of coming to a bit of a standstill now.
Yeah.
I think we've only got about maybe 7 games in a day, and I reckon the Snow so you can make the finals, but the reserves might be there for 1 game. Yeah, ground's in magnificent condition. We haven't had any rain.
There hasn't been.
No, not a drop. So,
I'll put a license in the Antrim game as well, because that was all like that.
Yeah.
That was in the middle of winter.
yeah.
It's not bad. Thinking of this time last year, I was down here and this came up shooting on top of it.
Yeah.
About 8 inches of mud.
Yeah, it was shocking. Well, mate, I don't understand.
So we're back for the second half here at Skybus. It is North Launceston holding sway by 9 points as we begin the second half. A must-win game for the home side. You fancy Lauderdale if they're to play finals. North Launceston, though, they'll be eyeing off top spot with a win today. If the Tigers were to lose to Launceston, which they're currently trailing in, they could be top of the table. Sutton now goes in, flicked it back looking for Skelly. Skelly retreats further, but a good tackle applied by Pearce, and he locks them up. A big afternoon in shaping finals here in the TSL. Toss back up, Siggins opposed to Lee. Sutton through the contest, scooped it to Siggins, outside of the boot, clears defensive 50. Blackburn playing in front and getting a free kick there, was just being infringed by Lee Flang. So Stixie Blackburn. Slightly quiet first half from the lively Blackburn. Can be The game breaker at times in that 450. Belchambers kicked a wonderful goal earlier. He pumps them deep here. The numbers favour North Launceston. Spills out the back. Handball just got away in time. Fell to Stanley. Slaps it on the boot and slaps it into the post. Misses from close range. Was under pressure, but a glorious opportunity there for Lauderdale. Goes begging. 5-3 to 6-5. Hubbard weaves back onto his left, then sends it down the line. Ugly looking kick. Turned it straight over. Handball to Walsh. Walsh just steers one for a diving Stanley. Didn't take the mark. Bounced in front of him, says the umpire. And I think that was the right call. Bryce Walsh just missing the target there. Tried to steer it to him. Just a little short. A couple of good opportunities go begging early here for the Bombers. Can they get the goal from the stoppage? All the same. Smith in there against Lee. Work towards Christensen. He gathers it, but he's under immediate pressure. Nathan Pearce on top of him. And he holds him up for another stoppage. Very much the order of the first half. Repeat stoppages. It's been a tight, congested, contested sort of a match. Tough conditions. Lee won it down. Flicked out the back by Stanley. Sutton now, they retreat further. Ned Shaw sends it high into the sky. Belchambers from behind almost brought it down. Working back was Rackett to apply some pressure. Fletcher Bennett was composed. Great tackle there. Won't be rewarded. Ball came out in the tackle, says the umpire, and now in the back. We'll see Bennett take it away for the Northern Bombers. So Fletcher Bennett switches it across. Lovely kick finds Mitchell Nicholas. Nicholas plays on, handballs it over the top. They'll run it down the outer wing, send it up towards half forward. Another good kick to Sulzberger. He worked it to Harvey Griffiths. He gallops inside the forward 50 and he drives it just wide of the post. There was lovely flowing football there from the Northern Bombers. A minor score only, 6-6 to 5-3. McGuinness reloads from full back. Lovely kick, finds Tony Suki. Suki, ugly looking kick. Bounces into dispute, back there. Bennett sweeps it inside, finds Nicholas, charges through the middle of Skybus. His kick just a little too much pepper on it, through the hands of McGuinness. Leary over the top was clever. To Gox good yet, but he's brought down by Walsh. Siggins back into the ruck. Lee beats him though. Won it down to Simpson. Got ball the boot. Screws it towards the pocket. And it drifts out of play for a ball inside the forward 50 for the Bombers. They've probably had the better of the contest, leading this one by 9 points. They'll have hung in there. Sam Siggins has been a real handful inside the forward 50, but when he hasn't been there, they've lacked a little bit of threat. He's in the ruck at the moment against Ives. He's kicked a couple himself. Siggins tracks this towards the line and just walks it across. Siggins punched it down, man. Shandon sharked it. He's locked up though. Somehow spills free. Almost a shot away. Is that high on Leary? It has to be. Brandon, it's just a little high slipping up. It's Oscar Mansell, in fact. Just angled the body, drew the high contact from Finn Rackett. And he'll go back and should put his side 15 points ahead. So Oscar Mansell sends it on its way. No problems there. He swings it through and they get their 7th of the afternoon. They're out by 15 points here. And given Lauderdale have got the wind at their backs in this quarter, any goal scored to this end will certainly be significant. Lauderdale probably need to find their way in front on the scoreboard heading into the last, or it's going to be incredibly difficult for them. But it's the Northern Bombers looking to move top of the ladder and kicking clear by 15 points here at Skybus. Launceston holding sway by 4 points over the Tigers at the Twin Ovals. As it stands, North Launceston would be top. Siggins scooped it forward. Sutton flicked it over the top. In stride taking it was Fletcher Hooker. He lets fly from 50. Fletcher Hooker! Wonderful goal there and a great response from Lauderdale. Super kick. Bennett tried despairingly on the line. Couldn't quite keep it out. And it's back to 9 points to the margin. 7-6 plays 6-3. And back within 9. Siggins and Lee. Siggins just couldn't quite take it cleanly. Jack Avent now tries to bring it under his spell. Hooker grabs a hold of him. Just releases it in time. Illegally so, says the umpire. Free kick going to the goal kicker in Hooker. So Fletcher Hooker spears one, almost found a marking target in Stanley. Spoiled away from him well though. Sulzberger blasted on out of there. Connor Young leads up and takes the mark on the wing. Young sends them up towards the half-forward line. Pack forming. Strong mark taken back there by Taney Suki. Squares it to Sutton. Sutton into the corridor. Bit of a dicey kick that invites some danger. Pressure applied by Pearce. And they force a stoppage. If you're going to bite off kicks into the corridor like that, you want to make sure you hit them. Very dangerous part of the ground to be turning the ball over in. All up favoured Lee, just spiked it towards the forward 50. Gathered by Skelly, swings it across. And they'll clear through Ned Shaw. That one pitches, bounces into Sam Simpson, couldn't take it cleanly. Smith, a little bit of a fumble. That invited in Skipper. And then able to tumble one towards Siggins. Siggins took it cleanly, but well done Harvey Griffiths. Put a hand up in the lane, turned it over. Siggins follows up. Griffiths applies the pressure, tumbles over the top of him. Ball stays in play and Lauderdale force it forwards. Out the back now, Sam Simpson. Tom Curran walking the tight line and sees it over. Lee slapped it down. Bell Chambers to Walsh. His kick nicely judged and well marked by Mitchell Nicholas. Nicholas just ships a finesse ball in there to Bennett. And Fletcher Bennett charges off and he'll send it further wide. Jacob Kerr. Good ball use here from the Northern Bombers. Nathan Pearce takes it and then slides out of play. Ahead of Skelly. He drives a little dart in, but the spoil came from Martin. Stanley tried to scoop it forwards. Bennett taken across the line by Skelly. Lee and Smith. Throwing favoured Smith, but had a bit of a fumble. Burrowing in there, Franklin. Lee, was he legged? He was. Advantage paid. Ben Simpson. The skipper sends it up towards half forward. Cox Goodyear, a clean pair of hands. Then he turns onto the left and thumps it from range, just off line. The whistle's blown. We're looking quizzically at the umpire. Sure what the call's going to be here. Something off the ball by the looks of. It looks like Alex Lee it's going to come all the way back to. Not sure What's happened there off the ball? Anyway, Alex Lee, the benefactor. He'll send North Launceston forwards. Smith Park behind the ball, takes a good mark. The big ruckman dropping back into the space and covering nicely. He chips backwards to Skelly. Skelly retreats further. And they'll clear the area through Gridley. His kick through the hands of Curran and spilt out the back. And now arching away with it is Mitchell. Chip back into the corridor. Ben Simpson. Bell Chambers bustling through. Handball to Sutton, scooped it over the top. Forced on by Walsh. Got it to Franklin. Franklin through traffic. They keep working it towards Stanley and Perkins. Going back in again was Franklin. Through heavy traffic. Great stuff there from Perkins. Made a couple miss. Stixie Blackburn. Oh, well done. Getting back Lockie Mitchell. Got a fist in. Saved the day. That's great defending from Lockie Mitchell. Timed his spoil to perfection. And Perkins again doing the ruck work outside against Lee. Whistle's gone. It's going to go the way of Lee. Perkins compensating for the size and strength he was giving up by grabbing a hold of Lee. So Alex Lee kicks to a contest. Smith flicked over the top by Martin, and they work it inside the forward 50. It's going to drift out of play. No, somehow stayed in. Perkins thought it was out of play. He looks around to the umpire. Play continues. Nicholas, they handball it back inside. Lee Flang handed it off to Kerr. Kerr wants to return it to Lee Flang, who continued his run, but he's caught there by Franklin. They kept it moving though, and now Mitchell Nicholas storms towards the 50. He hands it off to Kerr. Kerr lets fly from 45, but it's ill-directed and won't trouble the scorers. So Gridley in the back pocket. There's the defensive 50. Good mark taken by Taney Suki. Suki draws a man, then handballs it away, and they'll charge off down the flank. In towards half forward, Blackburn outnumbered. Competed well, kept his feet. Turns it around the corner, sends it towards Ed Stanley. Stanley gave it off, and a flying shot at goal from Walsh. And they're back within 3 points. Bryce Walsh on the run, fires through Lauderdale's 7th at 7-6 plays 7-3. They're working their way back into this one. 3-point ball game, midway point of the third quarter. And whilst the wind has died down a little, still definitely the more advantageous end, so they need to build a lead here. You sense Lauderdale. It was a good finish from Walsh. Just steered it home. A couple in a row now for Lauderdale, just when it seemed like North Launceston was starting to get some separation. Lee palmed it down beautifully to Simpson. Simpson swept the handball back to Lee. Lee gives it off there to Avent, sends them inside the forward 50, over the top towards McGuinness. He handballs there to Rackett. Rackett just slaps it on the boot. Not quite controlled there by Broomhall. In there was Winter. He's locked up by Young. Lee scrapping, fell to Leary. Tries to skip free of Shaw, can't do so. He tossed up again. Smith Opposed to Lee. Lee won it down decisively. Cox Goodyear lurking. Back into dispute. Skelly is sent to the deck there by Sulzberger. Smith won it down to McGuinness. Turns free of trouble and clears the defensive 50. Gridley with a couple to beat. The numbers win out. Sharply turning back inside here. They work it to Nicholas. Nicholas sends it wide, almost picked off there by Bell Chambers. Burrows in. In the end, the umpire will call for it. Three-point ball game. Launceston leading the Tigers by 10 at the Twins. As it stands, the Northern Bombers would go top. Huge afternoon in the TSL this one. Chip back inside to Nicholas. He marks ahead of Perkins and release the handball over the top. And now they'll drive it deep inside the four. Leary almost brings it down. Cox Goodyear there too. Harvey Griffiths from the pocket. Harvey Griffiths with a brilliant goal. He roved it superbly. He snapped truly from the tight angle. And the Northern Bombers back out by 9 points. Well, he's got tremendous goal sense, this man. And that was super stuff. So, 9-point ball game once more. Just when Lauderdale work their way back in, it's the Northern Bombers with a response. And his goal's worth even more attacking that end of the park. So 8-6 plays 7-3. And reset in the middle. Siggins, Christensen, Alex Lee. He works it forward. Gathering it was Franklin back inside to Christensen. He retreats to Martin. Clears the area. Not a great kick though. Bell Chambers just working Simpson off the ball. Went back in. Spills out in the direction of Mitchell. And Mitchell sends it up to a contest. Sea of bodies. Leary flew over the top. Fell to Griffiths. Kept it moving. His kick is chopped off back there by Skelly. And Skelly chips it across to Steinbauer. Steinbauer to Blackburn. A strong pair of hands there from Sticks Blackburn. Now he sets them up inside the forward 50 with 2 to beat. Smith fell front and centre. Skipping away was Skipper and then Pitt, who has Blackburn draped across him. And toss it up. Siggins and Lee. Sutton tried to get a kick away, couldn't do so. Blasted out of there by Sulzberger. And just spoiled out of play by Mansell. Throw in on true centre wing. 19.5 played here in the third term. Northern Bombers by 9. An afternoon where they could move top. Lee just slaps it forwards. Out after it, Avent keeps it moving. Good kick, found a marking target in Cox Goodyear. He felt McGuinness moved. Spears a little kick in the Leary direction. Tries to duck under a tackle. Took Shaw on. That's got to be holding the footy. And Ned Shaw will be rewarded. Probably got licence to try those sorts of things. Brandon Leary, he's a real live wire down there. Well, this time the tackle stuck from Shaw. A big win for his side back there. They clear the defensive 50 once more off the hands of Christensen. Kerr. Fletcher hooker, couldn't gather. Nicholas Mitchell was caught a little high there. He'll get the free kick and they're flying to remonstrate. Climb on top of each other there. It's kicking off. Umpire says play on, and Mitchell skips free and he drives them deep inside the forward 50. Almost brought down by Leary, not quite. Mansell first to the fall of it. He's buffered off it there by Shaw, and the defence does just enough to hold them up. In red time now in the third term. Toss back in, slapped towards the boundary. Mansell tackled by Skelly. Lee palmed it down. Cox Goodyear going nowhere. Back in once more. Christensen clears defensive 50. But it's straight down the throat of Bailey Mitchell. Bailey Mitchell stabs one short and he finds Bradley Cox Goodyear. A good man to have the ball in the hands of if you're a North Launceston fan. Such a reliable goal kicker. For so many years he's been a star of this league. Bradley Cox Goodyear. Can he extend their lead to 15 points? He launches from 45. It was never in doubt. He drives it through and they kick away to a 15-point lead, North Launceston. Their star, Bradley Cox Goodyear, firing it through. And I think that kick demonstrates the wind has died down because that carried the journey very comfortably. So that will give some heart to Lauderdale heading into the final term, but they've still got it all to do. North Launceston very well poised now. And whilst Launceston continue to lead the Tigers down at the Twin Ovals, looking more and more as if they might be moving top of the ladder here in round 14 of the TSL. So the whistle goes. Lee slapped it down. Siggins reached in, couldn't take it cleanly. Whistle goes. Sulzberger was going to skip away, but the free kick will go the way of Siggins. Siggins. Thumping kick will drive them towards Blackburn from behind. Had to spoil. Off hands, handball, but turned it straight over to Kerr. Kerr flicked it back out into the pocket. Pressure comes from Stanley, but the clearing kick by Simpson will come right back at him because Walsh was parked underneath the footy. Bryce Walsh steers one to Hooker. He's already kicked one goal from the paint this quarter. Doesn't fancy himself this time, though. He just sets it up instead and lets Blackburn fly from behind. Then roves it. Oh, good spoil from Simpson. Back in dispute, turning free Perkins. And then fell to Sutton. He screws a kick round the corner. Skipper paid the mark, much to the chagrin of Smith. A diving mark taken on the last line there from Charlie Skipper. Skipper. Oh, ugly kick. Turns it straight over to Blackburn. His teammates immediately turn. Say, go back and have a shot. I reckon the defender, just stolen a couple of metres there. So Blackburn, not the most thumping kick, but with the wind at his back, he should be able to make the journey from here. And this is a big moment in the game. Lauderdale in arrears by 15. They need to take their chances if they're going to get back into this one. Stixie Blackburn. He'll kick from the paint. He sends it on its way. It's drifting across the face and it's offline for a minor score. The margin back to 14. So from the back pocket, the Northern Bombers blast it clear. Pack forms from behind, juggling mark taken by Ned Shaw. Chips back inside, finds Fletcher Hooker. He wheels, tried to take on Pearce. Pearce lost his footing. And then he drives them in the Siggins direction. Over his head, though. Blackburn, he handballs it out. Ball recaptured by the Northern Bombers. Walsh on it, but he's driven there by Kerr. Taken across the line. He tossed back into play. Slap down. Pearce helped it on its way. Broomhall taken off it. And then Sulzberger clears the wing. Scrapping away Ives opposed to Tate Winter. Umpire's whistle goes. It's over the line. He tossed into play. Lee won it down. Sulzberger through the contest. Scooped it on over the top. Simpson squared it up there to Hubbard. Sends them deep. Spoiled away from Ives by Martin. Just whacked it away and finds the safety of the line. Approaching three-quarter time here. Another goal would be enormous for the Northern Bombers and make things very tough indeed for Lauderdale. This is again across the line. Smashed clear. Again, line, and that's a little unnecessary and a little late. That'll be a free kick the way of the Bombers, I'd have thought. And Sparks, a furious response, not happy with the treatment Skelly received. The umpire hasn't given a free kick. Well, no wonder it's a furious response. Got away with one there. Bryce Walsh. Handball through the middle. Christensen look away. Handball to Bell Chambers. Back inside, but a fumble from Curran. Lets in Mitchell and Simpson there. And again, they force a stoppage. Smith and Lee. Lee palmed it down nicely. Tumbled back towards Nicholas. He just got up over the shoulder of Alan Christensen. We're in the 30th minute. They've got to move it quickly here to Lauderdale. Christensen does just that. Siggins was coming from too deep. Played to play spoiler in the end. Ball cleared away. Sulzberger tries to control it under pressure from Sutton. Well done to keep the handball going. Christensen spinning through the contest, but Nicholas has a hold of him. And that will be the end of the third quarter here at Skybus. And it's a 14-point lead to North Launceston. It's been a tough, hard-fought battle out there. It's been a physical game. But the Northern Bombers are having the better of it. And they'll head to the final term, 14 points to the good. And are looking every chance to move top of the ladder here at the end of round 14. We'll be back in a few minutes' time with the final term. We head to the final change here. It's North Launceston 9-6-60, leading Lauderdale 7-4-46. Don't go anywhere.
7-4-46. Thank you.
So we're back for the final quarter here. It's the Northern Bombers in the box seat as we prepare to get underway. They lead this one by 14 points. Lauderdale are going to need an enormous effort in the last if they're to come from behind and keep a flicker of hope of their finals appearance alive here. There'll be 3 games adrift of Clarence if they lose here. Should make things very, very difficult. The Northern Bombers, though, they're eyeing off top spot. A victory here could well send them there, especially with their crosstown rivals leading the Tigers. We're underway. Lee won it down to Simpson. Simpson with an up and under kick. Just goes the 15 in the end and taken by Broomhall. He chips one sideways. Steinbauer. Steinbauer sends them forward in the Siggins direction. Sulzberger, just ran straight into Stixie Blackburn. That might be taking him on. No, ball up, says the umpire. That was a tough coming together, that one. Just tried to bulldoze over the top of Blackburn, who stood his ground. Smith and Lee. Lee won it down, but Walsh sharked the tap, charging through, going nowhere. Simpson has a hold of him. Franklin trying to charge on through there for the Bombers. Smith palmed it down towards Bell Chambers. Gathered though by Pitt. Arches the back, turns away. Flicked the handball over the top. Sulzberger. Pitt again. Tried to keep it in play. Couldn't do so. Siggins couldn't quite take it away. Looked a little high there by Bell Chambers. Play continues. They send it inside the forward 50. Bennett leads out. On top of that one, umpire kills for it. Lockie Mitchell back there. I think the ruckman could get it. Siggins just worked it towards the boundary and he tossed back into play. Wind has definitely died down since the first half, where it was a significant factor, but still think it's going to be tough sledding for Lauderdale in this final term. Siggins works his way to the front. Simpson after it. On top of the ball in the end, Gridley. Locked up. Siggins and Lee. Lee won it down. Fell to Bell Chambers. High. It's drifting. It's drifting. It's not quite working back though. Through for a behind. 13 points the margin. Short one to Bennett. Pitched in front of him, so has to play on. Just blasted on out of there. Stixie Blackburn with a good mark. Drifted across, showed some strong hands. Siggins will be a likely target here. Kick wasn't really to his favour though. Bounces out the back, smashed down by Lee. Bennett got there. He was tackled though. Pitt, Smith, Christensen. Strong in there was Ives, and he's come off second best. Put his body on the line there, Theo Ives. Courageous stuff and paying a bit of a price for it. And feeling the impact of that one. And kicked 2 goals in the second quarter. And he puts Bryce Walsh to the deck. Umpire has a look and then throws it up. Lee again wins it down. Flex into the path of Pitt, but he's under pressure. And again, the line wins out, and it's just getting a little chippy out there at the moment. Bit of argy-bargy. Siggins out of the ruck, gave it to Christensen. Ball dispossessed. Sutton Back to Racket. Racket on the left. He sends it round the corner. Blackburn parked under it. Spoiled away. Lockie Mitchell will clear the area though, but it's going to come right back at them as he's turned his kick over. Racket stands it up. He'll pump them deep. The big men fly. Off hands. Lee scoops it out the back towards the boundary. Mitchell kept it in. Worked it to Simpson. Simpson. He's brought down. It's holding the footy. Gridley got him. Tight to the line, though. The impossible angle here will be Gridley. Will take something special, but his team down by 13. They need to take every chance in this final term. Gridley opens up the angle. It's charged down. Great defensive play there by Simpson. Redeems himself. Pitt through traffic. Did well. Shrugged a tackle. His kick finds a target too. Strong mark taken there by Nicholas. He gets them moving towards Cox Goodyear, but just drifting in front of him was Tony Suki. Is that going to be holding the ball or 50? It's going to be neither. Okay then. That's one way not to make a decision. Tony Suki. He'll go again. He played on straight to the man, got tackled. Strange sequence of events. Suki set up, kicks a poor one, easily dealt with. Fisted out of there, but straight to Steinbauer. And Steinbauer snaps on the left. It was poorly directed. Drifts out of bounds on the fall. However, there might have been some late contacts. And a free kick going the way of the Bombers. The umpires will confer to decide where this kick will be taken from. Christensen got the free kick and immediately retreats back, does he? No, he's just given it to the actual recipient. Right. Some confusion here, but Max Skelly will be the man with the ball when all is said and done. So Skelly with a chance to bring them back within 7. He sends it on its way. It won't have the journey. Blackburn brings it down, and he'll go back and kick from 10 metres out. And he will surely cut the margin back within 7. It's been a strong start to this final term from Lauderdale. They need to put it on the scoreboard. We've had all the play in this final term. And Blackburn makes no mistake. He drives it through. And they get the first goal of the final term. It had been coming. We're back within 7 points here at the tip. 8-5 plays 9-6. St Northern Bombers by 7. They've been under siege in this final term. Lauderdale simply had to get something to show for it. They finally get their goal. I don't think North Launceston been up there under the ground in the last 5 minutes here. But it is still the Northern Bombers in the box seats. A 6-6-6 breach. Which must be their second of the day because they're shaping as if it's a free kick for the Bombers. So now they're going to get the immediate clearance. Dished off to McGuinness, sends them to half forward. The danger man, Blackburn, starting to come to the fore. Pitt tries to shrug free. He was taken a little high there by Blackburn. And the free kick will go the way of North Launceston at half back. Pitt almost charged down by Blackburn. Broomhall with the spoil, gathered by Christensen, taken high. That'll be a free kick. Alan Christensen. Lauderdale starting to lift here. They've pulled off some fourth quarter heroics at this venue already this year. That's a wonderful kick from Christensen. Put it in the space to Gridley. Starting to have an impact. He won't have a go for goal. He just puts it into the pocket because he spied his man Broomhall just drifting off into space. It won't be an easy kick though. So can Broomhall bring the home side back within a point. He'll kick from about 45. He wheels off to his right. He sends it on its way. It's across the face. And it's an even 6 points the margin. 9-6 plays 8-6. Bennett able to march it out. He sends it towards Lee and Smith. Smith plays spoiler from behind. Lee just slaps it on out of there, but straight to Franklin. Franklin handball back inside. It's gathered by Hooker. Hooker sends it across looking for Curran. Curran turning away from Bennett here, or just worked off his kick though by Bennett superbly. And now Ives charges back the other way. He thumps it on the boot. There is nobody back here but Bombers. It's 3-on-1, but the one is Leary, and he's given an honest chase. He's got there first. He snapped from the pocket, but it's out on the full. That would have been some goal from Brandon Leary. Surrounded by 3 Bombers, no one within 50 metres of him. He just worked his way with sheer speed to the front. Couldn't find the big sticks though. Skelly back inside. Oh, sloppy there. Coughed it up to Griffiths. Griffiths toes it off the ground. Leary's all on his own out the back, but the line wins out. And through for a behind. 7 points now the margin. A couple of dangerous moments at the back there for Lauderdale. North Launceston looking to kill this contest off. He's brought to ground here in a 2-man tackle. And a high contact free kick going the way of the Bombers. Bill Chambers, that was risky. Spoiled away by Mitchell. Now they're under pressure at the back, flying in over the top. They don't want this ball to come out. They'll happily take a stoppage, and they get one. Lee gets the better of Smith. Got it down to Simpson. Roved it superbly. The kick not as good. And doesn't trouble the scorers. Short kick, not a good one. Almost lets in Pearce. Bell Chambers fired a handball out to Curran under all sorts of pressure here. Struggling to clear half back at the moment. The pressure from North Launceston, immense. Toss back up. Smith gets the better of Lee on this occasion. Bell Chambers with the clearance. Sends it up towards Blackburn. The spoil came from Lee Flang. Clean bowled a few. Trying to gather it. Hooker diving on top. Griffiths in there. Got a handball away. McGuinness now leads the charge out. Blackburn brought down by Lockie Mitchell. Ball spills out. Play allowed to continue. Bell Chambers forced it onto McGuinness. He found Stanley. Stanley through traffic. Gets his kick towards half forward. He's only got Broomhall back there. The bounce favoured him though in a one-on-one with Hubbard. Hubbard kept his feet. Showed composure. Took it away. Gave it to Lee Flanger. Now here come North Launceston. His kick over the top finds Leary. Leary's got Pearce running on for him. He works it to him. Nathan Pearce, 60 from home, sets it up inside towards McGuinness. It wasn't a good kick. The relieving mark taken back there. They've been under some pressure at the back here. Have Lauderdale, much of it of their own doing, it must be said, coming off half back. Long kick towards the wingers again, spoiled away, and they'll be under pressure once again because Jack Avon has the ball and he sets it up for Pearce. And Nathan Pearce will go back and take the shot from the paint of 50, or Cox Goodyear, sorry. As the Tigers have closed back within 8 of the Twin Ovals, Bradley Cox Goodyear will look to kick his side. 13 points clear here in the final term. Big kick this. Cox Goodyear, more than capable is the Bombers star. He sends it on its way. It never looked particularly likely. He just sneaks it in from behind. And it is an 8-point ball game here. 8 points to the margin in both TSL games here. Cracking afternoon of TSL action. Round 14 here. How will this one end at the tip? They go looking for Siggins. He has 2 to beat, and the support from Mitchell, who's rising here. Got better as the afternoon's gone on, having an impact is Lockie Mitchell. He takes a good mark. He sends them inside the forward 50 over everybody's head. Harvey Griffiths first to it. He was dispossessed. Scooped out there by Skelly. Clear and kick off the hands of Pitt. Gathered by Avent. Avent back to Pitt. He's met firmly by Stanley. Holding the ball paid. Geez, that was red hot. Stanley wastes no time. He tears off and sends them towards the middle of the ground. Blackburn parked under it. Took a mark. He's got a runner. He gave it to Walsh. Walsh sends it now wide into the forward line. Great mark taken there. It's that man Gridley again. He is rising in the final term. Gridley thought about dishing it off. Used it as a fake. Now he sets sail from 45. It's Gridley. It's offline again. 7 points the margin. Lauderdale charging late. The Northern Bombers holding them off. Clear and kick. Spoiled by Martin into the hands of Walsh. Plays a 1-2 and he'll get to send them forward once more. Lovely little kick to Stanley. Ed Stanley. Thinks his way through this. Sends them inside the forward 50. Our kick wasn't really to the favour of Franklin. Northern Bombers should be able to clear the area here over the top, over the head of Man Shandon though. And first to it is Martin. He goes to Tate Winter. Winter scoops it over the top for Stanley. Stanley kept them moving, received it back, but he's caught from behind by Leary. They win the ball back to the Northern Bombers. Harvey Griffiths spun free of 2, slapped it on the boot and buys off some territory here. It's tired bodies chasing after this one, but Cox Goodyear gets there first and he kicks it into a vacant forward 50. Leading back with Skelly. First to it Steinbauer. Had a bit of a costly fumble though. Now has to do some defending, and he does, and he holds up Mitchell. And there'll be a ball up inside North Launceston's forward 50. Siggins slaps it forward. Towards the line it goes. Cox Goodyear. Oh, dances past one. Gave the handball to the pocket. The snap from the impossible angle. It's a remarkable goal. From the grandstand. An absolute stunner from Mitchell. Bailey Mitchell extends it out to 13 points with a goal from the impossible angle. Tight to the line. Superb stuff. Cox Goodyear set him up. But that is an outrageous goal. And it might well be the match winner. Meanwhile, it is a point the difference now at the Twin Ovals. So, have North Launceston done enough? Lauderdale with behinds. 2 goals could be enough. They've got time for that. Here's Sam Siggins. They need him to lift once more. Christensen didn't want to take possession, just tried to spike it onwards. Didn't really get much distance. He follows up though. Lee was there. Look towards the boundary line and trickles across for a ball in. Little margin for error now for the home side. Their finals hopes very much on the line. 12 points adrift of Clarence. It'll be very difficult indeed if they drop this one. North Launceston flying off top spot. Sutton applying some pressure on Sulzberg, who did well to get it back inside to Manshand and tried the underground handball. Siggins wasn't having it, stopped it and tackled him. Tapped down by Lee. Man Shandon back inside, but his handball found Walsh. Walsh steers it into the corridor. Taken by Broomhall. He sends it back to the outside, parked under it Stanley. Oh, the quick release was clever. Found Siggins. Siggins had a loose on over the top in Perkins. Perkins into the pocket. Finds Smith. Juggled it, couldn't quite take it. Works it inside to Stanley. Is that a free kick to Stanley? It is. Ed Stanley will go back with a gettable kick to cut the margin back to 7 as we tick towards red time. He heads on in. Stanley, it's across the face. It won't even trouble the scorers. Out of bounds on the full. Well, behind wouldn't have been the worst result there either. To not trouble the scorers, that's a real blow. Big missed opportunity from a normally reliable man in front of goals in Ed Stanley. And the Northern Bombers clear defensive 50 with a booming kick up towards the wing. Harvey Griffiths slapped it backwards, but he slapped it to Shaw. Sutton back inside, couldn't find Walsh. Griffiths through heavy traffic, just spiked onwards by Hubbard. There was Pearce soccering forwards. Found its way to Simpson. Simpson slung it back to the outside, but a slight miscontrol there from Lee Flang. Invites back in the Bombers. Hooker's kick charged down by Nicholas. Simpson, good attack on the footy there. Steadies himself. Sends it towards half forward. Oh, dropping one he should have had there was Rackett. That invites some pressure. Cox Goodyear just tumbles it in towards Leary. Leary met by Winter. It's going to be a high tackle. And a free kick to the dangerous Brandon Leary. So Brandon Leary. He'll kick from the paint of 50. This would probably seal victory. He sends it on its way. It's working back majestically. Brandon Leary drives the dagger in. And you'd think that's probably the ball game. This young star, ice cold under pressure there. And his team now are 19 points clear. And that might just be that. The Northern Bombers have probably done enough to win this game, and pending the result at the Twin Ovals, might be about to move to the top of the TSL. Siggins, Christensen, but taking it away is Jack Avon. He streams out the back of the contest and spots his man Leary again. That's the service you love as a forward. When you can come through the back of a stoppage like that, it really opens up. And Brandon Leary can go back. He's already sealed the match, you'd think. This would make absolutely certain of it. For 2 in a minute for Leary, again from the paint of 50. This time, he doesn't have the accuracy. Completely misses the lot in the end. So, no score, but 19 points at the 23-minute mark of the last. I suppose after that Melbourne-Brisbane game last night, you never say never, but it would take a similar effort here from Lauderdale. They get a free kick. They've got no time to waste. Nat Franklin sends it wide. Spoil came from behind. Worked onwards there, cleverly by Sutton to Siggins. Siggins kick, a rare misstep, but the bounce was very convenient for Walsh, who's then caught in the back there by Hubbard. Free kick. Walsh. Spoils arrive. Clear it away. Fletcher Hooker tries to weave through a few, slaps it on the boot. It'll bounce in the pocket and out of play. Siggins out after it. He's kicked 3. Hooker's kick spoiled. Walsh burrowing in, looking for the high contact. None forthcoming. Tossed back up once more. Smith palmed it down to Christensen. Couldn't take clean possession. Smith flicked it out. Bennett got a handball released. Avent under pressure. Walsh burrows in after it again. But he's going nowhere, and time surely now. Against Lauderdale. Surely not enough time for 3 goals. Smith palmed it down. Back inside. Simpson takes it away, chips it. It's ill directed. It's out on the full. Stixie Blackburn from the pocket opens up the angle and misses. And if they had any chance, that simply had to go through. And at 18 points and 25 and a half played, it's surely curtains now. Clearing kick up towards the wing. Good mark taken by Martin. Martin sends it into the pocket, looking for Alan Christensen through his hands. Oh, that could be a ball there against Kerr. Simpson sees it through. And another minor score. In less welcome news for Northern Bombers fans, the Tigers have rallied late at the Twin Ovals, now lead that game. 28th minute, they're up by 4 points, so they may not go top of the ladder, the Northern Bombers, with today's win. A cracking afternoon of TSL action, that's for sure. Sam Siggins working his way in there. So too Martin couldn't bring it down. Spills out the back. Pearce with strength. Slung the handball, but he coughed it up to Suki. Suki back inside to Bellchambers. Bellchambers draws a man. Fires the handball to Hooker. Hooker back over the top to Martin. Martin works it towards goal. It bounces. Smith. Christensen takes it. He looks for the high contact. And he gets it. But he has no time to waste. And indeed, time has run out on him. The final siren sounds. A 17-point margin. Can Christensen thread this one late? It's of little importance, really, although I suppose their percentage is very, very tight with Clarence, so every goal may count. That won't be one, though. Offline. And it ends here at the tip. North Launceston, 11-8-74, defeat Lauderdale, 8-10-58. On a live ladder, well, North Launceston temporarily will go top. The Tigers, Launceston game's going right down to the wire. You might want to flick over and catch the closing moments of that one. 4 points the difference in the 30th minute there. So whether North Launceston are top or not remains to be seen. What is for certain is the Lauderdale have got their work cut out for them trying to make finals now. They're 3 games adrift of Clarence. And the top 4 looking pretty set. An entertaining contest here at the tip. And it is North Launceston the victors by 16 points. I hope you've enjoyed the coverage here on the TSL live stream. In Andrew calling the action for AFL Tasmania. Until next week, it's bye for now.